everybody. So I totally had to make a couple more Halloween themed cards after I saw Kristina Werner's hello card that she posted on Friday, which I will link to in my blog post, but that totally inspired me to make this card. And I didn't have a hexagon die, but of course the whole point is kind of work with what you've got. So I had this My Favorite Things triangle screen die, so I thought I would try out something similar using that die. And then I'm using some older Doodlebug pattern paper. This is the Haunted Manor pattern paper that was from last year's Halloween release. Obviously any pattern paper is going to work, but I've got so much Halloween pattern paper, you know, hanging around that after I saw that card, I was like, oh, I can totally do a few more cards. And these ones, the fun thing about them is even though it's kind of Halloween themed, they don't say like Happy Halloween. Like they're kind of an any occasion card, yet done in a Halloween theme, if that makes any sense. So what I did was just cut random patterns that I liked and wanted to use on my card. Just cut them down, and then this time I'm actually cutting die face up so that I could lay out the pattern papers onto there to get as many little triangles as possible out of it. So I did that, and I ended up running it through a couple different times just so I had a good little variety, and it makes a total mess, but it's kind of fun. So I had die cut the main, like the actual triangle screen itself from black cardstock, and then I'm just using my Tombow Monomulti and doing a really thin line all around the edge for sure, and then just little tiny dabs in some of the areas where all the triangles meet, just so that those will be adhered down onto the layer, which is just gray cardstock. So these screens are sized for an A2 card front. So the gray piece of cardstock is like 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8. So then that way there'll also be another layer when I put it onto the A2 card base. So then, once I've got that adhered down, it's just a matter of adhering all the random little pattern papers. And obviously, like, it would take forever if you were going to fill the whole thing in. And that was the other thing, too, is after seeing her card, I was like, oh, I loved how it looked with just kind of random sections filled in with just different pattern papers. So yeah, I just kind of went along, just making sure that no pattern papers were the same, you know, next to each other. And just a totally random, just grabbing them, adhering them down, and that's all there was to it. So it's kind of fun. And with mine, I went a lot more Halloween-y. Like, yeah, I have so much pattern paper sitting here. So yeah, this kind of gave me an excuse to pull it out and use it a bit more. Plus, I'm not ready to like quit Halloween yet. There's still a few more days left. So once I had it the way I wanted it, and of course the light changed because this took me again all day to make this card between kids and life and craziness. But yeah, I grabbed a few more pieces of pattern paper, and then I grabbed the Dynamics Fishtail Flags Layers Stacks, say that 3 times fast, and their MFT Thank You Dynamics as well, and ran them all through at the exact same time because that just saves time. You just lay it all out and then run it through the machine and you're good to go. So I chose 2 different sizes for the sentiment because, again, I want to kind of switch it up. I don't want to do things exactly the same. So I chose 2 different sizes for the sentiment and then just adhered them onto the card front with my ATG adhesive. So I used the little green kind of polka dotty pattern paper and then these little spiders and got that adhered, and then just flipped the card front over and used my scissors to trim off the pieces that were hanging over. And then the thank part of the sentiment, I just die cut from black cardstock and then adhered each letter down. So this one's a little bit more time consuming. That set does come with the cursive options as well, so then it's all just one piece and faster, but I wanted to switch it up and use that one for the thing, and then the U I used the cursive part, and I die cut that from just some of the orange pattern paper. And then I grabbed the Star Jewels, and those are the new ones from Doodlebug. That's this year's release. So I just grabbed a few random ones and stuck them onto the card front, and then that's all there was to it. So really the most time consuming part is just adhering all little triangles, but it's so much fun. And it's just, you can totally customize it for any occasion, any time of year, just depending on what pattern papers and cardstock you use. So I just thought this would be a really fun thank you card to give to someone and during, you know, this time of year. So just fun. So once I got the outside done, on the inside I'm using another piece of the gray cardstock, and then I die cut the triangle screen again, but I trimmed it down so that there's only about like the 3 rows, so that the top area of that gray cardstock is open for being able to write something to the recipient. So once I just adhered that down, I just used up some more of the little triangle pattern paper pieces that I had cut out, And that's all there was to it. So I'll post a link below to my blog post with links to all the supplies used except for this specific pattern paper line, just because, like I said, it was from last year. But really with Doodlebug, like all their stuff is fairly similar. Like the one this year could have worked. This is just the one I decided to grab. And then yeah, I'll also post a link to Kristina Werner's awesome video because that totally inspired this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!